All right, so I'm just going to go through responses in FreedomSoft. So we sent out a campaign. We sent out a campaign through um, set up the campaigns. From here, we set up the broadcast, and then we went into here and we started. Um, looks like these have been sent out already. Um, But so we got all these pending, so it looks like we sent out 150. Somebody sent out 150 in one of those campaigns, and we starting to get responses back, right? So we go over here, we see our responses, and now we just go through the different responses that we have and start working through you go through these responses, and then the ones that look like leads, we start working through A, B, C, and D to try to narrow that down to get a price and then an address. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I'm just going to be pausing and restarting as I go through these different responses so you get a feel for how we go about this. So let me take a look at these. All right, so here's kind of the number one, uh, and you can do the responses in ways like if you've got like 50 of them and you want to go through and use this nope, nothing right now, copy and paste and go through that and just copy it and then respond to all those uh, first. I do that sometimes. Or if you want to just go through and start responding to each one in order, you can do that. You'll just be copy and pasting from the list more. So it's up to you, but let's go ahead and jump into this one here. So I wish I did. I have a family member. She's not ready to sell. The second the home's a mess, so keep you posted. Send me an email for my file. So let's just, we have in here uh, the great sender this, and then I'll follow up with something like I'll send you an email as well. Let me know. And send that. And this one, you can do a follow up on it if you want. She does. It doesn't sound like it's a definite one, so I probably wouldn't. But let's definitely send her an email. I'll send that through my system, but you can send it to whatever system you want to stay in touch with her about, and go from there. So let me keep going through these and find out what else we got. All right, so we went ahead and responded to this lady here. I sent her an email, sent her my email address. Um, I'm not going to follow up with this one. You can if you want, if you want to follow up with her, but she said that she'd follow up with us, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear her and move on to the next. Um, so here is a common question we get: how do you hear about me and my business? Referral or so going back to our responses. That is probably our number two. How did you get my number from one of your listings? And let's redirect them back to our original question. And we're done with this one. So we can go ahead and clear it. We responded to him and we can clear that message. If he responds, great. If he doesn't, that's fine. We're doing volume, so we're not going to be chasing every one of these texts down. If they want it, if they got a property, they'll get back to us, hopefully, right? Brian, can you send me your last name, address? She wants to know everything about me, and or call and discuss. So then going back to our responses, this is like what number, what area? So here's my LinkedIn. And then I'm going to respond with, do you have an off-market property in mind? I think I have that in here somewhere. You can copy and paste so you don't have to type it out. So I want to find out from her if she has something before I call her. Because you'll find that a lot of agents like to waste a lot of time. Here is no. So going to our responses. No, nope, nothing right now. Okay, so let's respond with this, and we can clear her. We already responded. All right, here's a true fix and flip. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. Do you have a second to call me back? So, so I'm going to respond. I'm going to make a new response for this because I get this a lot. But we want to respond in a manner like this. Yes, I can give you a call. Do you have an off-market property in mind? So I'm going to copy this and put it in our responses because it's so common. But I don't want to just call her because I find that when I just call, that a lot of times these agents don't have an off-market property in mind. And if they don't, I don't want to talk to them. Neither do you, because you'll just find a lot of chatty catty agents in this business that waste a lot of time, and we don't want to get sucked into their waste of time holes that most agents fall into. So anyway, so I will give her a call if she has a property in mind. If she emails back, no, I just want to get your criteria, I just want to chat with you, I just want to be your best friend, then no, I don't. I'll be like, I'll just probably text her back. Just text me when you have something, because I don't have time to sit there and talk to every single agent when they feel like having a conversation. So we can go ahead and clear her. All right. So here's one. Looks like listing. It looks like it's already. Keep in mind if anything's in my way. So I wish I had it. This market's crazy. I wish. Keep in mind anything comes in my way. So that is the appropriate response. Is she doesn't have anything, so she's a no, nothing right now. Respond with this and clear her out. All right. So what I'm trying to do is whittle this down to a manageable group. So I usually try to get rid of all the crappy messages first, and then I go into the ones that look like they might be leads. That's the way I do it. You can do it the opposite if you want, but I try to whittle this list down so it's not so overwhelming and just really get to the meat of what I want to focus on, and then do the appropriate response on that, and we'll get to that. So let me take a look at a few more of these responses, and and then hopefully we'll get this list whittled down to really our next step, which is right here. If they do have a property that they have in mind, then we go through this series of texts. So let me try to get this whittled down so we can get to the step 5 in the responses and go from there. All right, so here's a response. It's very common. Is there any specific location you're interested in? Anything in Front Range? Again, redirecting them to off-market deals, though. These sometimes are agents looking to do deals or do searches on the MLS for us, which we already cover. So that is right here, that response there. So once I'm done with Chase, I go ahead and clear him out and keep going through these. All right, so here is a series of responses that we're pulling directly out of all of our responses here. So you want to know what location we're in, and this is out of our responses, anything in Front Range. Again, directing back to MLS to off-market properties not in the MLS. Then he comes back and he wants to know who I am. I love this. I love to send them over my LinkedIn, because what my LinkedIn does when you pull up my LinkedIn, it's really a sales pitch to sell me properties, right? And so that's why I love sending this and get them engaged to see that I'm a real person, that I do deals. So anyways, so right now we're having looks like this is starting to turn into a lead. So let's go back. So Chase is starting to, it looks like he has something right here. Let me speak with him first. Let me know when you do. So this is one that looks like it's turning into something. So I'm going to go ahead and assign this one over to me and clear it, because I've already dealt with him, but it's assigned to me, so that means that that task is going to bump over here to my task that I need to deal with. Okay, so it hasn't disappeared altogether. Like I get it out of the text blast here, but it pops over here to the important leads area where I can deal with it over there. So we're starting to whittle down to stuff that is starting to look um, that is more interesting. So let me take a look, see if I can clean up a few more things, and then I'm going to shoot a separate video, kind of going through these ones that are looking like leads and how we deal with that, because we do these basic responses to clear them out, and then what we have left over is usually something that looks like a lead that we can start asking for the price, asking for the address, and doing the analysis and so on. So let me keep on looking through these, and then we'll finish up this first part of the response training. All right, so here's one I used two different responses on. It doesn't have anything at this time. He'll keep me posted if anything comes up. He wants to know who I am, and he wants to save me on his phone. So I sent him over. Here's my LinkedIn. Hey, and by the way, save me on your phone like this. I like people to save me on their phone like this because it's easy for them to remember. Flip by our Brian. We're branding ourselves in their phone. So this works really well because people will come back to us in 2, 3, 4 months down the road and remember Flip by our Brian in their phone as somebody that will buy fix-up properties. So that's why we're doing that. That's why we're branding that. So anyways, I can go ahead and clear Sandra out. I've dealt with her, and I don't think there's anything left in here to. The rest of it should be moving on to the next phase, which is the interesting leads. So let me just double check that, and then we'll end this video. All right, so here's one. I just really stopped responding, or maybe just send him over. Send him over this. I'm not going to meet up with people, and neither are you. It's just a complete. It's a complete waste of time. We're not going to sit there and spend our days and weeks meeting with countless agents that don't have anything to show us. So I just sent him this and then clear him out. We're not going to bother with John wanting to meet up with us. So that's how I'd respond to that. So let me see if there's anything else. So this one, we're just done with these people. I don't even know what so you'll get a lot of these agents that just want to chit chat. So she has nothing to show us at this point. We've already asked her to save us in the phone in case something comes up. There's nothing else left here to talk about. So when that's done, just get rid of them, and so we can focus on what's important. All right, so this is a perfect example of this just becoming a huge waste of time. So at this point, I'm probably going to just stop responding to her. No, we don't want to set up meetings to discuss. So you can just send her like something like, something like this. And you can tailor it, right? So just letting her know there's no reason to meet up. That's ridiculous. So and get rid of it. So this is pretty much going to wrap this one up. Now we've got a bunch of text messages that really we're moving on to the second part of this. So going through the remaining text, which is the ones that are more interesting, they have leads. So we went through kind of the more basic responses. So I'm going to shoot a separate video number 2 on going through the more more interesting texts that have addresses or they say they have a property, and so we can start working through those.